So guys, I think the reason why I don't like Atiku, or why so many don't like Atiku, is that Atiku is manipulative. Atiku, I think the main reason for that coalition was to push or to portray a candidate that we all agree that is the best that can remove Tinubu from office, and not just remove Tinubu from office, but doing a great job in Nigeria. That's what we all agreed. But all of a sudden, Atiku started campaigning for himself, and his campaign strategy was that he's going to make sure that in his government that he will have over 70% of the youth and women. So there's a message coming from Nigerians that if P2B does not become the flag bearer of that coalition, that Atiku should be rest assured that Tinubu will run for extra 4 years, making it 8 years for Tinubu, that he should be aware that that's what is happening, and Nigerians are not going to vote for Atiku in any way, because we all know what Atiku is capable of doing and what he has done in the past. And now that the video coming up exposing that Atiku is trying to make use of P2B, because this ADC coalition is happening in the north. That means if they should do a primary, Atiku will definitely win that primary, because the Northerners will support Atiku, or they will find a way to make Atiku to win that election. But let me just take a look at this video first, and let me get your views and your thoughts in the comment section.
Dear ADC family and my fellow Nigerians, I find it necessary to once again address you on the recent events within the ADC. But before I get into that, let me state the following. I am an Igbo man from Manchubo in Delta State of Nigeria. I am a full-blooded Nigerian and have the right to aspire to the highest office in the land. The presidency is not and will never be the birthright of one section of this country, no matter how much propaganda they spread. There's a lot of deliberate misinformation going on by these agents of destabilization, masquerading as a political coalition. There is a clear difference between a political coalition and a political gang. The first has noble ideals, while the gang seeks power for personal gains. What we have here today is a gang unable to survive outside political office, seeking to hijack the ADC as a means to revive their personal economies. They are truly on a rescue mission, but it's a mission to rescue themselves from the harsh economic realities which they themselves created for our nation. They accuse me of being a paid spokesperson for President Tinubu, and my response is this. It will be an honor to be a spokesperson for the president of the largest black nation on earth. But unfortunately, that's not who I am. Political jobbers who have no visible means of livelihood are always eager to tar others, but I remain unfazed. They, with the active support of their cohorts in the media, now say they are the ADC. They are not. I can call myself the president of America till I am blue in the face, but it doesn't make it so. They are offering some of the state chairmen as much as 20 million naira to resign their positions, which goes to show that their intentions are not honorable. My question to this gang is this. If you succeed in paying off all the ADC party officials at state and local government levels to resign, what next? Our constitution still doesn't allow you to assume their offices. This is the plain and simple truth. Your money will get you nowhere in the ADC. If you have to build your rescue mission on fraudulent misrepresentation, it just shows who you really are. The imposter who claims he's their spokesperson made bold to say that I am merely the former presidential candidate of the party and not a party official. His pedestrian argument is that only party officials can challenge party affairs. This is the same elitist ignorance that brought Nigeria to this point, where we believe Nigeria is only for the rich and powerful. Bolaji, please be informed that every member of our party, no matter how poor you people have made them, have a say in the ADC. This fake coalition is staging events in different parts of the country where they pay poor Nigerians to say they are decamping from other parties to the ADC. This is the typical strategy of these old politicians, and we have had enough of it. They need to sing a new song. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar A man whose antecedents clearly shows he doesn't believe anyone from the southern part of Nigeria is deserving of being president of Nigeria, orchestrated this charade for his personal benefit. He almost truncated President Obasanjo's return for a second term because he believed the seat was his. President Jonathan suffered the same fate, and then after 8 years of late President Buhari as president, the same Atiku Abubakar believed it was morally right for him to be the presidential flag bearer of the PDP in the last presidential elections. This was most unjust and unfair, and led to the current disintegration of that party. He is now using some charlatans to deceive former Governor Peter Obi that only he, Atiku, has what it takes to win an election because he can get majority of the North to vote for him. This is really uncharitable of him. If the former vice president says my assertions are not true and that all he wants is a better Nigeria, I then challenge him today to publicly declare that equity demands that the presidency should stay in the South for another 6 years. He can then support any Southern candidate of his choice. He will never do this. But if he chooses to continue on this slippery slope, I want to reiterate that the ADC is not for sale, and it's not an old people's home. We are a party that believes Nigeria needs fresh faces, fresh ideals, and fresh ideas. This current political war is the war of the old for the old. It's not our fight. In the ADC, Nigeria and Nigerians will always remain our objective. Thank you, and God bless. I'll now take your questions. Thank you. It's a good question. First and foremost, let me say this. The people we are talking about are not members of the ADC. Yesterday, we all saw former Vice President Atiku resign from the PDP almost 2 weeks after they came and they said they were part of the ADC. As I speak to you today, former Governor Peter Obi is still a member of Labour Party. If we look at what's his name, El Rufai, he's still a member of the SDP. Former Governor Rotimi Amechi is still a member of the APC. So the people who came together to say that they are forming a coalition and they are taking over the ADC are people who belong to other parties. They are not in the ADC. They just came to cause this upheaval in the ADC. So, if you're in my shoes, am I supposed to watch people who are not members of our party go through someone who claimed he was the chairman, even though he was not the chairman, and say they've taken over the party structure to prosecute their political ambitions? Absolutely not. I came into a party of common Nigerians who were in that party, even though they had no visible person in that party, but they still stayed in that party because of what they believed were the possibilities of that party. Should I not defend these people? Should I look the other way so that so-called big men, so-called powerful people can come and say, you know what, we'll take this party, we use it as a structure to then fight the sitting president? Or should I defend the interest of a party that made me presidential flag bearer? The honorable thing to do is to stand and fight. I'm fighting for all party men and women of the ADC. Said that the lower court's ruling removing Nwosu saying and was not chairman was in error. We then went to the Supreme Court. In their media briefing, I saw the state chairman of Kogi State, and I want you guys to investigate this. The state chairman from Kogi State, who was removed twice in the last 1 year by this same Nwosu, letters were written to INEC, investigate this, coming to say that they had been planning this coalition for 18 months. If they were planning coalition for 18 months, the same Kogi State chairman signed an agreement just 2 months ago with Nwosu and INEC and the ADR person resolving their issues, and yet he made bold to tell Nigerians that for 18 months they had been planning this coalition. They are presenting a tissue of lies to Nigerians to justify what they try to do. But I'm telling you today that these people have no hold on the ADC. Their hold on the ADC is just in the realm of the media. But the ADC as a party currently has no chairman because of the lacuna Musu created. We expect now that INEC will give us guidance on how we go about our conventions, because our constitution never envisaged a situation where we will stay without an NWC. It never envisaged this kind of situation. So only the courts and INEC can give us guidance on how we can create this. So what these desperate people saw was this lacuna, and they felt, oh, this is a party. After all, if you remove the four parties, APC, PDP, Labour, and NNPP, right? This party came fifth in the last presidential elections. So it is the next best thing to hold on to prosecute their agenda. And that's why they came to this party. I doubt if you knew the ADC before I came to the ADC and joined the ADC and ran under the platform of the ADC. Most Nigerians didn't know the ADC, but then they knew the ADC because I defeated Kingsley Mohalo in the primaries. Then people got to know the party. And as such, I'll tell you this. Yes, ADC is popular but there's a difference between popularity and notoriety. Nigerians are talking about ADC, the party that seeks to upstage the president. And Nigerians are talking about ADC as being the front for a coalition. Mind you, we have always been in the forefront of opposition. But the difference is why a lot of people won't hear about the ADC's opposition is that our position comes with proposition. We don't believe that the job of opposition is just to stay and be insulting the government of the day. If you want to go viral in Nigeria, all you have to do, even as a market woman, is just stay and make a video and insult Tinubu and insult APC and insult this. And the question I always ask people around me is this: at the end of the insult, what next? 2 weeks now, mind you, for the last 2 weeks, they came and said, or 3 weeks, they came and said that they are now the opposition, the coalition. They've taken over ADC and they are going to chase out President Tinubu from office. You've not heard these men tell you this is what they want to do about the economy. I heard Bolaji saying the other day that they are going to reduce price of fuel to what, 100 naira, whatever it was, and they're going to take dollar to 1 naira to the dollar. The same thing they told us when the APC came in. They're saying the same thing again. They did not tell you what they are going to do about the economy, about housing, infrastructural deficit, healthcare. The former president of Nigeria died a few days ago in a foreign hospital. You have not heard any of them address the situation of what they will do about the myriad problems we are facing in Nigeria. All they tell you is this: President Tinubu has got to go. Okay, he has got to go. Tell us what you will do differently. Because that's why we're here in the first place. That's why we have the problems we have in Nigeria, because we have never questioned these people. When they come and tell us bogus stories, nobody questions them. That's how they chased Jonathan out of office. Nobody questioned them. Today, when you are paying your rent today, you don't remember the stories they told you and how you brought these people into power. When you are trying to pay children school fees, when you don't have food on your table, you don't remember all the lies they told you. And where we are today, they've come with another bunch of lies and nobody's questioning them. Question their stories. But before any story, ask them. Anytime you confront these people, anytime you interview them, ask them, what will you do differently about the economy? What will you do to ensure that the Nigerian who leaves school today, that he has a job within the next 1 year, the next 2 years? What will you do to ensure that our hospitals improve, that our doctors and nurses are not leaving Nigeria for the UK, Canada, and America? What will you do to end banditry or kidnapping? I forgot to pose this challenge to Vice President Atiku. The media, you are all reporting almost on a daily basis the killings in Plateau, in Benue, by Fulani people coming from other countries, right? You report these stories. Some of you camouflages and say farmer header clashes. How many dead so far? 1,000, more than 1,000. In the last 10 years, how many dead so far? What has Vice President Atiku Abubakar said about his kit and kin killing innocent Nigerians? What has he said? The young lady was killed in Sokoto last time. Someone, his social media manager, made a tweet. They pulled it down immediately because it was not politically correct for him to speak against his people. That is the man who aspires to the highest office of the land. We know the truth as Nigerians, but we never want to speak to the truth. We never want to speak to the truth. He says he leads a coalition to upstage a president of Southern ethnic stock. That's fine. We are all complaining as Nigerians. I'm aspiring to office. I'm running against President Tinubu. But I believe it's morally and equitably right that anybody from a major party to go against this president should be from the South. There's nothing wrong with that. It's equitable. It's justice. That's all we ask. So you have in that coalition people they put around P2B. So they tell P2B, you cannot win, you cannot do it. Only if you become Atiku's vice. What rubbish. That's balderdash. He has all it takes to aspire. He has all it takes to win an election. He has the brains. So, but people, what they do, they stake people around him so that anybody he goes to, they tell him, you cannot win. That is their strategy. And that's how they are forcing him into a situation where he accepts to be the vice presidential running mate to Atiku Abubakar. That's what they tell us every day. That's what you, the media, are doing when you have this reportage that seeks to suggest that I, as an Igbo man, I can never be president of Nigeria. Why? Why? Don't I pay my taxes? Doesn't my Nigerian passport say I'm a Nigerian? Doesn't my birth certificate say I'm a Nigerian? Why can't I aspire to the highest office in the land? Am I anybody's slave? That's why we won't allow this. So no matter how they tell you that when you speak against them that you are Tinubu's spokesperson, it's an honor. It's an honor. As long as what I speak about is the right to the southern part of Nigeria to aspire to hold office for 8 years. Watch again. Let me tell you, look into this again. 8 years of President Buhari. Please Google this. Tell me how many statements Atiku Abubakar made to speak against that government, to challenge that government. We see all these statements today challenging a southern president. Because the southern president is nothing. Google and see how many statements he made. Then you know what you can do? Google my statements. Watch my videos. I challenge that presidency. 8 good years. But you can't see what if they said anything. If you did not speak against President Buhari in 8 years of the economic disintegration of Nigeria, of the structural disintegration of Nigeria, how dare you then speak because the man happens to be a southern president and because you know what, we southerners are weaker, you can overrun the country. We need to start speaking truth to power in this country. This is no longer acceptable. We know the truth. You all know the truth. You all know this truth. Speak this truth.
Okay.
But the ideas and ideals, we stand for something in the ADC. Next question, please.
Okay. I am Henry Umora, I call from London. There are statements and...
Thank you. Good question. Who loses if the courts grind ADC to a halt? Nigerians lose. But I can assure you that they will not succeed. The courts will hear in earnest all matters pertaining to the ADC, and I'll tell you what will happen. When they determine that ADC is not a suitable platform for them, they will start looking for other platforms. This is why these men and women have not resigned from their various parties. They are just trying their luck with ADC. Of course, you know they went to SDP. You saw them immediately after my press statement a week ago or so. They were all on TV stations. I saw Rotimi Amechi saying that, oh, they are still pursuing ADA to register ADA. They are saying that they are pursuing other things, that they have other options. ADC was just a smoke screen. They are doing trial by error. They have tried SDP, it didn't work. They will come here and try also, and I'm telling them this is not the party for you. If you want to pursue your political ambition, stay within your party. Solve the problems in your party. I could have left ADC immediately when we started this rubbish last time, but I stayed here. It's fashionable for people to decamp to the APC, not so. I could have stayed and decamped to the APC and joined the ruling party. But I've stayed within my party with all the challenges because I believe that it's important to build structures. No matter how difficult a proposition is, you build those structures. So those structures. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but at some point we'll get where we're going to. I stay to build my party. They should stay and build their parties.
Obedience are wise because that condition, they gave it to be a condition. That is either he becomes Atiku's vice or he should forget about becoming a leader in Nigeria. Could you imagine that terms being given to P2B? And P2B have even come out publicly to say that he's not going to run for any vice. That he's going to run for the flag bearer. They don't care how, they don't care where, but he is going, that his name is going to be on that ballot box. But before, I thought Atiku was actually out for Nigerians' good, but now I know that this man is a man that wants power by all means. This Atiku have even run for these candidates for 6 good times and lost 6 of them. Now again, he's trying to go again. Because right now, imagine him after all the plans, after all the coalition meeting that they want to push P2B, all of a sudden we started hearing that they're not giving P2B a chance, that he should become Atiku's vice, or else you should forget it. So that means Atiku all along plan was that P2B will come in and then they'll have primaries and then he will win primaries, and that's just it. It doesn't make any sense. But at the time of P2B and obedience, that he's still going to run for presidency, he's not going to be a vice to anybody. That he will not even try it. Because this man have seen that if he should leave this power to Atiku or the rest, Nigerians will suffer. Because right now we are suffering from the mistake we did 2023. Yes, we are suffering it. Everybody is suffering. When I mean everybody, I mean everybody, both the rich and the poor are suffering it. But the economy is down on anybody. The insecurities is down on everybody. So if you can have money and still be secure, yes, because this country don't care whether you're rich or poor. The kidnappers now go for the rich. So the rich people are more in trouble than the poor people. Because if you kidnap a poor person, what can you do? Because his life is actually miserable already in Nigeria. Because Nigeria, if you don't have money, your life is so miserable in Nigeria because you'll be in pain, you'll be neglected, you'll be rejected, hunger will If you're Nigerian and don't have money, many things will do to you. So imagine a kidnapper kidnapping a poor man. It's of no use. So now they go for the rich. The rich know that this government is also down on them. So they need to do everything possible to remove them. There was a period where there was a massive kidnapping of our senators in Nigeria. I remember then, they were all scared. So these people know that this government is not the right thing for us because this security now is too much. This security in Nigeria have turned to a cinema movie where kidnappers will kidnap somebody, do a video and post it online, and the government will see the video and do nothing. But once someone from TikTok is saying something bad or saying the truth about the government knows how to track them and arrest them. But they don't know how to track kidnappers in the bush and arrest them. Every day, by the way, ransom because of this insecurity. Let's not talk about different herdsmen. So they are allowed to carry gun, but a Nigerian is not allowed to carry gun. But herdsmen is allowed to carry gun into the bush, enter someone's land, forcefully collect their land, if possible, buy them, and the government will not do anything. That's the kind of government where we are, or country where we are, where the government are not doing anything about insecurities, but yet they are arresting those that are saying the truth about the government. You can come back and say that this government is not working very well, and then they will arrest you. That's not the level at which everything in Nigeria is going now. Like I said, Nigeria is affecting both the rich and the poor, so they are aware that we need a right man for the job. Imagine El-Rufai, all of a sudden supporting P2B. El-Rufai that we know, all of a sudden supporting P2B. To tell you that this man P2B is the only option Nigerians have seen to revive our country back. This man is the only option that we have seen to make it right in Nigeria. Because this man understands the pain of an average Nigeria. Our leaders don't understand the pains of average Nigeria. Trust me, they don't even care. That's why you see that despite everything that's happening, the government have not come out to say anything. Let me get your views in the comment section, guys. But the advice to Atiku is that you should know that if he eventually become the flag bearer that Tinubu will soon win the election, that's the promise that Nigerians are giving to him, and also the billions are giving to him. So don't get of it in the comments section. Guys, my next video. If I need you can subscribe, is the boy again. Keys was to get my next video.